Hello viewers, thank you for joining us for this second video in economics. So in my previous video I was introducing economics as a course. Yes, so we did the introduction to economics and we also define what economics is. Now in this video I'm going to be focusing on the two branches of economics. Okay, so economics has branches. So basically there are two branches of economics that we are going to be looking at in this course. So we have two branches of economics. So the first branch that we are going to have is what we call microeconomics. So microeconomics is a branch of economics, and then the other one is what we call macroeconomics. Okay, so in this video we are going to look at each separately and also try to differentiate them from each other. Okay, so in economics we have these two branches, but now we want to understand what microeconomics is all about and what macroeconomics is all about. So to begin with, we are going to start with microeconomics. So microeconomics as we said, it is a branch of economics. Okay, microeconomics, it is a branch of economics branch of economics that focuses on individual decision making. It focuses on individual decision making. So for microeconomics, it is a branch of economics that mainly focuses on individual decision making. So basically, when we are talking about microeconomics, we're just trying to look at how individual behavior are able to influence the market, firms, and household. Okay, so we are saying this focuses on individual decision making. For example, we can have the households. The households, how individual behavior can influence the household decision. Firms, markets, and prices. So that's basically what we have to look at when we talk about microeconomics. So it is a branch of economics that mainly focuses on individual decision making. Okay, so for example, the households, firms, and markets. So how the individual decisions can influence these areas that have been given. That's what we call microeconomics. In other words, this looks at economics at a small picture. Yes, we don't consider everything, but we just try to target a certain area in an economy. That's basically what we call microeconomics. Okay, having looked at microeconomics, let's also try to look at what we call macroeconomics. So what is macroeconomics? Because at the end we must have that capacity to differentiate between the two. So let me get rid of this. Okay, so we must at the end be able to differentiate what micro and macroeconomics is in economic terms. Alright, so we said there are two branches of economics. So the first one has been already explained, but the other one is what we are trying now to break down here. So macroeconomics. So what is macroeconomics? So macroeconomics, it is also a branch of economics. Okay, remember, it is also a branch of economics. It is a branch of economics. Branch of economics that studies the whole economy. Okay. Alright, so macroeconomics itself now, it is a branch of economics that studies economy at all. So it brings now several factors, grouping them together, and evaluates how they affect economy. Now, under macroeconomy, we are focusing on things like, for example, inflation. Okay, the inflation of the country. Okay, not only that, but the GDP. Okay, we are also talking about the rate of unemployment. So all these issues that I'm listing down, they are dealt with in macroeconomics. Not only that, but we can also have government policies. Okay, the government policies. So all these, they'll be dealt with in macroeconomics. In other words, we're saying under macroeconomics, we are looking at economy at a bigger picture by putting in all the several factors that can contribute to the economy. So having said that, I'm going to bring down a table that we are going to use in order for us to summarize what we've been discussing. So the difference between microeconomics and macroeconomics. So under microeconomics, we said it studies individual behavior, consumers and firms. Okay, but on the other hand, macroeconomics studies the economy as well. Okay, the whole economy. And at the other hand, we are saying microeconomics analyzes market for specific goods and services. So as I said, we are targeting specific things that we are interested in a particular economy. That is microeconomics. But for macroeconomics, we analyze the national output such as the GDP and the income. Okay, that one also is what we're supposed to consider when we're differentiating these two things. Microeconomy also explores prices and production decisions. Okay, so it explores the pricing and the production decision. At the other hand, macroeconomics examine unemployment and inflation. Unemployment and inflation. So microeconomics also examine wage determination and labor markets. Okay, so these are the just particular examples that can be dealt with when we are dealing with microeconomics. Examine wage determination and the labor market. On the other hand, macroeconomics, it focuses in covering monetary and physical policies. Now, these we're going to be dealing with them in other coming topics ahead, but in this concept, we're just going to be generalizing them, but we are going to understand them deep as we go ahead in this course. Apart from that, microeconomics also focus on supply and demand in specific markets. So we are going also to be talking about supply and demand separately, and we are going to look at how these can affect individual decision making process. And we are going to look at something very interesting on supply and demand, things like market equilibrium as such. Apart from that, we are also saying for macroeconomics explores economic growth and business cycles. Okay, and also it focuses on aggregate demand central banking. So basically in this video I just wanted to introduce the two branches of economics, of which we have given out as microeconomics and macroeconomics, and then we try to differentiate this by definition, and hope this has helped. In the next video we'll start diving deep. We'll start first with microeconomics. Yes, we're going to start dealing with microeconomics, and when we finish microeconomics syllabus, that's when we'll start tackling also on macroeconomics. Hope this has been of help to you. Please subscribe to my channel, like and comment, so that we can get engaged in everything that we are doing on this channel. Thank you so much.